Hello there. Today in this video, I'll give you the key which will help you master Raspberry Pi. So, what is a Raspberry Pi? Well, Raspberry Pi is a credit card size mini computer. With the help of this Raspberry Pi, you can do all the basic tasks which you can normally perform on a personal computer, and a microcontroller because it has 40 pins. It's not all pins are GPIO pins. Means out of this 40 some GPIO pins are there, using which you can connect I2C based devices, SPI based sensors. You can even connect 16x2 LCD, TFT displays, and lot more. So I would say it is more like a microcontroller with the computation powers of a personal computer. You get my point? A microcontroller with the computation powers of a personal computer. Well, that best describes the Raspberry Pi. And since it's run on 1.5 GHz, means in case if you are using Raspberry Pi 4, it uses 1.5 GHz clock speed. So you might need a cooling mechanism. A basic heatsink will do the job. So let's get started. So before we get started, I said I'll give you the key. So to get the key, you have to see the video till the end. Let's get started. First, you have to install Raspberry Pi Imager. Well, Raspberry Pi Imager is a software which allows you to boot your OS. First of all, inside a Raspberry Pi Imager, you have three options. First, to select the OS. First, you have to select OS, whatever the OS which you want to install. So, mostly we'll use the recommended version, which is a Raspbian OS. So, currently they have released Bullseye version. Bullseye OS creates some problem. When working with Adafruit libraries, the library is unable to differentiate platform. A library is being created to work with multiple platforms. Well, I figured out, I went inside the library files. I tried to modify it. When I was working with the project, I realized some issues because always it says platform error. So I wanted to know what actually is a platform error. So I went inside the library. I realized the same library is written for various different platforms. So Raspberry Pi 2, Raspberry Pi 3 and 4. Well, 4 was not physically mentioned. It was only mentioned up to 2. The 3 and 4 were something like just use the same pin order for Raspberry Pi 3 and 2 because the pins are same for both Raspberry Pi 2, 3 and 4. And we have other platforms like BeagleBone, BeagleBone Black, BeagleBone AI and Jetson Nano and some other few different platforms were there. And it also has I2C SPI using which you can interface various other sensors or any peripherals. Means you can simply connect I2C LCD instead of connecting all the data pins, RS, enable pins. You can just simply use I2C and connect up to hundreds of devices. Well, I2C supports up to 23 or 1023. It has a sound bit address. So first we have to install Raspberry Pi Imager, as I said early, and you also need 16 GB memory card. Well, this is the minimum rating, means you need a 16 GB memory card. Even if you have a 8 GB memory card, you can run it, or even with a 4 GB memory card, you can run the Raspberry Pi Lite version. So, but if you are working with some image processing based projects or AI ML based projects, then you need SD card above 16 GB. Means either with a 16 GB you can do it. You have approximately 8 GB of free space in it. But using a 32 GB is more favorable. Next we have select the drive. Select drive means you need an SD card and a card reader. So you have to install the card reader inside your PC and you have to select the specific card reader to burn the OS inside your card reader. And next finally you have to click write option to write the OS which is downloaded from their server inside the Raspberry Pi's SD card. And then you have to insert that SD card inside this SD card slot of a Raspberry Pi. Things will be easy if you have a monitor, but in case if you do not have a monitor, because if we have a monitor, we have this HDMI option. We can simply use a HDMI cable. You can connect HDMI cable one here and the other end goes to your monitor or TV, whatever you have. and things will be as simple as that. And you have SD card, USB slots to connect keyboard and mouse. You can it's more like using a personal computer. The OS environment, the desktop user interface is really cool. But the real problem starts when you do not have a monitor. Let's say you don't have anything, you don't have any monitor, you don't have anything to connect, you don't have any keyboard or mouse, but still you need either Ethernet connection or a Wi-Fi. If you have either of this connection, then you can access your Raspberry Pi. Well, this is out of scope for now. Well, in this video I'm just telling about the normal mode. Maybe in my next video I'll talk about headless mode. So this type of installation is called headless mode, where we are not going to connect any monitor, we are not going to connect CPU, we are not going to connect mouse or keyboard, but using the network established via Ethernet and Wi-Fi, we will access our Raspberry Pi and enable VNC, and that process goes on. It will ask for you to perform basic setup. It means this is really normal. Even if you are installing a Windows OS, it will ask for you to set up some username, password, some date, time, Wi-Fi location, blah blah blah. Those stuffs will be there. So the same stuff is there for Raspberry Pi. You have to set up Wi-Fi country. If you want, you can set up username, passwords, and there's another option to perform system upgrade. So if you see the Raspberry Pi, the libraries are changing every time. Means every second, maybe every second. Even now, someone will be uploading another set of libraries. So you have to use sudo apt get update and get upgrade commands to update your Raspberry Pi. Well, the same feature is supported by Raspbian OS. In the initial stage itself, they will give you automatically there's a GUI which will allow you to perform Raspberry Pi OS upgrade. Once your Raspberry Pi OS is upgraded, you can work with your Raspberry Pi and do all kinds of projects, everything. Well, if you like my video and subscribe to my video, then I will add a lot of tutorials about this Raspberry Pi. Well, for the past 1 year I am working with VM ecosystem, and I have done a lot of projects. Maybe if you give me enough support, I'll add all the tutorials, all the videos which I have worked so far for you. And now it's time for the final key. The key is Raspberry Pi documentation, because if you're a beginner, you need a guidance, you need something to refer, because if I give you this Raspberry Pi and ask you to do some project, you won't be able to do anything because you don't know anything about it. So you have to see some documentation to know everything about it. But luckily, the raspberrypi.org have provided excellent documentation. Once you read all the documentation, you don't have to view any other tutorials. You don't have to go for YouTube and search for their videos. Even you don't have to see my video, because the documentation is so perfect. Initially, means when I started my career, even in my college days itself, I started working with Raspberry Pi. I struggled a lot because there was very less tutorials. In those days, it was very hard for me. But nowadays, there's enormous tutorial about this Raspberry Pi. Even I'm very much happy about the documentation process I said about installing Raspberry Pi images, selecting the OS, selecting the SD card. So the same steps are already there, and I hope they made their tutorials better than me. So I'll ask you to go and watch their videos. In case if you get stuck, then you can comment me where you are getting stuck, and maybe I'll try to help you. So thanks for watching.